Hello everybody, welcome back. Here we are for game two. We won the die roll, and yes, we would like to play first. This hand seems fine. We're going to go ahead and let this go and figure out how things turn out. Looks like my opponent mulliganed to 5. I'm going to start off this way, and if my opponent first turn swings an Emrakul at me, I'm going to put it back in his hand on the next turn and hope that things last from there. If he thought seizes me, there's a lot of options, but none of them are very... Oh god, not another burn deck. Goblin? Lackey. Well, let's think about this. What can we do here? There's a swords. So I can actually swords this lackey. I'm just going to keep the swords. And pass a turn. I mean, if he doesn't do anything, then end of turn I swords the lackey. If he does do something, play another lackey. Alright. So we got 2 of them. Let's see what the first one says. Lingering Souls. Not something I'm looking for. So I am going to go and get a swamp. And let the second one resolve. Scrubland. Okay. I can live with that. We're going to swords 1. Next turn, I don't really want to play Scrubland because it's another basic. That means I'm going to be taking 4. But I can at least play a Scrubland and force him to sacrifice a creature, or even make him start discarding, which actually seems like it may even be the better choice. Yeah, I actually like making him discard a little bit better than the other routes. I'm aware I'm taking extra damage, but so be it. Let's get rid of this one. He gets rid of a Fire Blast. Alright. So he's down to 2 cards at 3 cards. Okay, 2 cards again. Magus of the Moon. Well, there's good news and bad news here, folks. He's swinging at Liliana. There is news. There is lots of news. We're a card away from actually being able to just hardcast Batterskull. I get to drop this Bob. Let's both discard. And I know you're wondering, why am I discarding that? Well, what in the what? Really? That's... Are you going to fireball me or what? Alright. Let's see. I am going to kill Goblin Guide. I am going to kill Magus of the Moon. Killing Magus of the Moon should let me play Stoneforge Mystic. You know, guy can't catch a break. I got no problem with this one. We can both discard. There we go. So he's not as dedicated of a burn deck. He's still got to swing at Liliana. So she's actually gained us quite a lot of life. And now we have a Batterskull. So he's not going to be planning to have to fight against this. And I'm just going to do it this way. Not exactly the way I want to have my lands, but I mean, so be it. Because we know he does have so many moon effects, we are going to go ahead and play or keep the diamonds and everything in. Although we wouldn't get rid of them anyway, because they're absolutely awesome, and anybody who says differently is a liar. Let's start gaining some life back here. Yeah, the diamonds will at least give us some type of onset for this, and I'm going to keep a land in hand at this point for the rest of the game. If I find a way to get rid of this, I'm going to be able to fetch. Yes. Bob is also a good one. We're going to be blocking this. So we're back at 20 life. If he beats me from this point, it's going to be very interesting. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I'm going to bring this back to hand. And the reason is I can play the Bob and it next turn. So, I guess we'll start off with the Bob, the one that actually has a color requirement. But it gives us 2 creatures in case he does something. Like, so far I've seen some pretty interesting things from his deck, and I'm not going to rule out Word of Seizing at this point, although he may do the simple thing and steal the Batter Skull as opposed to the Germ. Let's see here. Wrong one. Converted mana cost by name. Like I said, we're going to be keeping those. I'm going to take the extra removal just because it is. This is actually supposed to be in there. I didn't realize that until the last one. Just kind of, I'm going to pull the Duress. He's got a couple more creatures. This should be enough. Like, these are going to be pretty much useless. Bitter Blossoms, I don't want them against burn decks. And that gives us 2 more. I'm going to take the Knights again. And the reason I am taking the Knights is because they're 3 drops. They're such high-costed things that are basically just 1 creature, whereas I can use this Souls, and that'll stop groups of things. So, yeah, there's my reasoning. All right, so I'm going to keep this hand. I have all my colors in theory. Would you like to mulligan to 6? No. And I get to start off with a first turn Stoneforge getting Jit, which should be scarier than all hell. At least I hope it's scarier than all hell. And he shows me a top. I was hoping he showed me another land. That's okay. So we do this one, pop that down. I am going to get Forest. The reason I'm getting Forest is because if I get Plains and I draw a Wasteland and he plays a random thing that lets him do Blood Moon or something, then I'm pretty much boned. So there's the Jit. So the Stoneforge Mystic we can consider dead at this point. He's most likely going to burn this in some way, shape, or form. The good news is that if he does that, yay, that means that the Bob should be good for a little while. And the Bob means that we should be hitting land drops. I wish that, well, we'll hold off. He's short on lands, so we can afford to, wrong card, cancel. We can afford to play this top. And we're going to take the blind hit, hopefully hit a land, and then swords this so that we keep our life total high. Yep. Everything's coming up Millhouse. And let's put a stop on our... Yeah, don't stop. Yeah, okay, so that is my turn. It's been a long time, as you can tell. I haven't played as much Magic as most people assume. There we go. Alright, so of this, I don't really want any of it. So I will take in this order. And we can turn that off now. We can't actually play anything but this. Alright, so he's got something else that he kind of has to deal with. Otherwise he gets to find out exactly what we're doing, and looks like he concedes. So we're going to try and steal another match in there. Hopefully we'll end up with something that is not red. Maybe. Possibly. I did ask my buddy who was going for the daily as well if he wanted to. He's got Zoo built, which would have been something different that I don't think I've ever showed you guys. So unfortunately he decided that he was going to do something else. So next time. Alright. Until we see you later. Bye-bye.